It is a beautiful South Mississippi morning here on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi in Ocean Springs. And today, I'm going to take a look at the 12 Oaks Old Fort Bayou Coastal Preserve. Now what this is a half-mile little loop trail, little nature trail that has a little bit of interesting history. It goes back to Civil War days and things like that. I've never been out here, so I'm going to have to do a little research, and maybe along the way I'll put some information here on the bottom of the screen in that area. But this is the 12 Oaks area, and I guess there's 12 big oak trees in this area. From the pictures I've seen online, this was one of those hidden gems of South Mississippi. The weather is high 60s, low 70s, about 30% humidity. It's a beautiful morning. Really surprised there's not more people out here. Looking back at the parking lot, there's nobody here but me. So, got the whole little trail to myself. And looks like they got some signs along the way that tell you more about it. Now, from my understanding, a lot of these oak trees are 400 plus years old. Very, very expansive and massive oak trees. Now, today is the first day of spring. I believe it's March 20th, I believe it is. So I figure what a great day to get out, enjoy the day, enjoy the springtime, see a little bit of nature, go do something I haven't done. Get a little miles on the shoes today. Not just a half mile though. So we're going to take a look at this trail and see what it has to offer. So y'all stick around. Now it looks like this was somebody's home at one time. The house looks in pretty good shape, but I'm not going to get too close to it. It's not my intent today to bother nobody's house or any structures like that. As you can tell, the trail is pretty well marked right here off to the left once you walk down that little gravel driveway. So we're going to follow this trail here for a little bit and see what we can come across. Got some pretty azaleas blooming too. Very interesting area. Lots of different types of trees. A couple pine trees, a lot of oak trees, magnolia trees. Looks like a cedar tree there, or a cypress tree. Pretty interesting area so far. Kind of interesting here along the trail, they have these little signs that tell you more about what you're looking at. Nice little butterfly there landing. This trail is literally 200 yards at the most off of Highway 90, a very busy thoroughfare coming through South Mississippi. Back off that way. So you're going to hear a little bit of car noise and traffic and horns and stuff like that, but pretty peaceful back here. If you can just kind of take the traffic noise out of your mind. So far, it's a nice little stroll through the woods. Kind of enjoying it. You can tell there's a little bit of elevation change. And trail looks, not, let's say 100% maintained. This is probably one of the things that has the least amount of funds, privately, donated, things like that. But you can tell they put some attention to it here and there. There's these little boardwalks that are a little unstable, but kind of go across the marshy areas. And come across here is another sign. It tells us more what we're looking at. Good old muscadine. And I believe that's that vine that you see right there, kind of growing up for the tree. So at one point they did do some good, maintenance and stuff like that. Here's another one that says, good old southern magnolia. That's a pretty good size southern magnolia here. Around the base, it's probably 24 inches in diameter. Very well, very mature. Magnolia tree. You got a slash pine. And a lot of people think you just have pine trees. There's different types of pine trees with the needles and how the bark grows and things like that. So, nice little nature trail so far. It's pretty well open in here. It is spring and not everything is fully bloomed out or leaves are out. So once it gets in the summertime, this will probably be a lot more shaded. Right now it's right at noon, a little before noon, somewhere in that area. And it's fairly well shaded now. So I'm coming up to here to a little T in the trail. The trails are pretty well marked. There's one there and one there saying you can go both ways. Now here at the, I guess you say the end of the loop or the top of the loop, there's a little outpost here where you can sit down, have your drink, relax. Get this little observation deck. Looks to be alright. Pretty solid. Overlooking the bayou here. Pretty nice here towards the end of the loop, I guess you'd say, or the top portion of the loop. There's lots of places around the water where you can walk down and check it out, see if there's any fish or whatever. Just be careful. Some places there's a little bit of drop off. As you head back towards the trailhead, there's a couple more oaks, trees, and stuff like that. One thing I forgot to do was actually count the oaks to see if there's actually is 12 oaks out here. I'm sure there's more than that, but photographs do not do this oak tree and big massive pine tree behind it, justice. This oak tree right here is probably every bit of 4 to 5 foot from there to there. Absolutely massive. And back behind it is a pine tree. It's probably every bit of 2 foot around. Goes way on up there. So you definitely got some pretty old trees in here. It withstanded many hurricanes and floods and, you know, acts of Mother Nature and random acts of humans. They made it this far, hundreds of years old. So I like this trail. I like it a little bit better than that Fountain Blue trail I did a little bit ago. Even though there's not many people out here, it's peaceful. And I've actually seen a little more wildlife on this little bitty trail right here than I did see on the other trail, so I guess that's a plus. I'm coming right back out here on the back side of this house, it looks like. So this is a pretty short trail. I think it was a half mile. That's kind of cool. Looks like a bat house. Huh. Old shed back that way. A little bird house off in the distance. Well, yeah, this is pretty interesting. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but for anything to write home about, I enjoy my time out here. You know, half mile, down here maybe 15, 20 minutes. You can make it last longer if you wanted to. Looks like there's another trail this way. Let's see where it leads to. Kind of takes us down to the... Now this will probably take us back to that little split that we went to earlier. So we're going to go back and run this back this way. Kind of go through this little low-lying area. This is a big old snake. Let's see if I can find him. That joker scared the bejesus out of me. Okay. Right there in the middle of the screen. Garter snake. Perfectly harmless. The way you can really tell, it's kind of hard to tell. If you can see his eyes, how they're round, like our eyes are, it's a good sign that they're a good snake. Doesn't mean it's not going to bite you, but it's non-venomous. So if it does bite you, you just go wash your hands really good, just in case there's any bacteria. So that just made the trip even better. I'm glad I took this little side trail back around, little cut through trail. I'm glad I took this little thing just to see that snake. That was pretty cool. That's why I come out here. Just, you know, I live in the suburbs. And this is actually in the middle of town, literally in the middle of town. Not 200 yards off a highway. And we have nature like that. You know, snakes and, you know, there's all kinds of, I've seen a handful of lizards out here, and you know, of course there's spiders with webs and everything, but yeah. So we're back here at the little T we came to earlier. I'm gonna go back into that swamp, or that little marshy area. This thing kind of be the little highlight of the trip here. See that little snake? I ain't gonna lie, he startled the fire out of me. He was pretty well hidden. But let's see if he's got any buddies back here we can look at. Alright, so I went back up that trail, see if that snake was still there, and he was long gone or long hidden. We're back here at the back side of that house. Beautiful. Beautiful trees out here. There's 7 or 8 right here alone. These big massive oak trees. So I'm guessing the 12 oaks is probably the 12 oaks that are on the original property here around the house. Are the biggest around out here. And it's cool that it looks like there's a branch that came off, or I don't know. It may still be living. Goes all the way up. It's probably dead because I don't see any green leaves coming off of it. But anyway, I'll head back to the car here. Kind of give you a little bit of a look at the back side of the house. It looks like it's a art studio, or maybe little offices. Of course, there's cameras there looking at me. That's fine. Got a little thing for the Boy Scouts over there. Sure, they come out here and do a little trail maintenance and do their outdoor activities and such. But yeah. Pretty cool little trip here. Pretty cool. I guess we're going to wrap this one up. If you're ever in South Mississippi here in Ocean Springs, I really suggest you try this trail out. Like I said, it's only half a mile. You know, get away, kill 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, however long you want to take it. You can make it last longer. But yeah, I enjoyed this trail just a little bit better than that Fontainebleau trail, just because of the fact that there was more things to see and more scenery, different various types of scenery. It's just, you know, just interesting. Definitely one of the hidden gems of South Mississippi. But with all that being said, I appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you next time.